What the? I decided to visit the house where Mom, my brother, and his wife live, but I couldn't believe my eyes. There was Mom, much thinner than before, watering the flowers in the garden. I was speechless at how much she had changed. Then my sister-in-law, Anastasia, came home. Chelsea, what are you doing here? Well, I couldn't get a hold of Spencer or Mom, so I came to check on things. But what's happened to Mom? Huh? I just noticed she's lost a lot of weight. At that moment, Anastasia's expression clouded over. Oh, yeah. Susan's on a diet right now. That's why she hardly eats anything. But Mom wasn't heavy to begin with, I pointed out. While Anastasia and I were talking, Spencer came out from the house. Sue! Spencer! Oh, Chelsea! It's been a while. You doing okay? I'm fine. But what about you? Seeing Spencer, I was certain he was just as thin as Mom. This couldn't be a coincidence. Anastasia, can we talk? What is it? The way Spencer and Mom have lost weight, it doesn't look like it's just from dieting. It's too extreme. Are you hiding something? At that, Anastasia clearly looked disturbed. There's nothing wrong. Sorry, but we have to go out today. Okay. Then please give this to Mom and Spencer. They've always loved this cake from the local shop. All right, I'll give it to them. I handed Anastasia the cake and left immediately. I contacted my sister Ashley to meet and discuss later. Mom and Spencer might be under some sort of control by Anastasia. I couldn't just stand by. A few days later, I met up with Ashley and explained the situation. So that's what happened. What do you think? Does that mean Anastasia isn't giving them enough food? I think so, but we don't have any proof. We can't just demand that she feeds them properly. What's the best approach here? When I asked Ashley for her opinion, she quickly replied, First, we should try to get in touch with Mom or Spencer. Maybe get Anastasia out of the house for a bit, or maybe approach Spencer at work. I thought about that, but their workplace is so close to home. What if they get seen? Spencer might get in trouble. Right. Oh, I've got it. At that moment, Ashley seemed to have an idea and looked quite pleased with herself. What is it? Why don't one of us, either you or I, take Anastasia out? Invite her out for lunch or something and take her away from the house. Can we really do that? I was skeptical, but Ashley seemed confident. If you're so sure, then I'll do it. No, I'll do it. Chelsea, you're better at talking to Spencer and Mom. They probably don't want to worry you. If they start worrying, we can't help them. All right, let's do it your way. And so we sisters decided to execute our plan. We didn't know if it would work, but we had to try for Mom and Spencer. I hoped it would be successful. Thinking that, we executed the plan. Ashley managed to make a lunch appointment with Anastasia. However, Anastasia said she could only stay for an hour, seemingly eager to return home quickly. It was the weekend, so Spencer and Mom were both likely at home. She must be anxious leaving them alone. While Ashley was out with Anastasia, I visited Spencer's house. Mom answered the door. Oh, Chelsea, what brings you here? Is Spencer here? Yes. I entered the house, and the three of us began to talk. We don't have much time, so let's get straight to the point. The reason you two are so thin, is it because of Anastasia? As soon as I said this, they both visibly reacted, especially Spencer, who couldn't meet my eyes, almost confirming my suspicions. They didn't seem to have any physical injuries, suggesting they were being mentally pressured, but neither of them wanted to admit they needed help or discuss what was happening. Instead, they said something shocking. I've been overeating since starting my current job. Anastasia's been helping me cut back. Nothing terrible is happening, Chelsea. Do you really believe that? Don't joke with me. Anyone can see that this isn't just cutting back. Can't you see how much Mom has changed? She used to have such a good figure, and now she's so thin. As I pressed Spencer, Mom intervened. Don't be too hard on Spencer. He's not allowed to say anything. What do you mean? Spencer seemed off, but Mom was still somewhat coherent. She appeared to be enduring something for Spencer's sake. I took Spencer to another room, leaving Mom and I to talk. It's Anastasia's fault, I knew it. What exactly is she doing to you and Spencer? Then Mom became silent for a moment before beginning to speak as if she'd made a decision. Now, Anastasia controls all the money, but she barely gives us enough to cover our expenses. She only gives us about $50 for food each month. Chelsea, you cook often, so you understand how tight that is for 2 people for all meals. That's why we've become so thin. Despite being tired from work, he always puts my welfare first. It's that concern that truly pains me. Saying this, Mom began to cry. It seems Anastasia took over the finances a few months ago. Before that, Spencer managed the money. But after a mishap with a cell phone bill not being paid by direct debit and being charged fees, Anastasia declared she would handle the finances. Spencer, knowing it was just a one-time oversight, tried to object. But Anastasia's strong tone and harsh attitude silenced him. Mom, overhearing from her room, didn't intervene, thinking it was a marital issue. But that was the beginning of the nightmare. The next day, the food budget was slashed to $50, and Spencer's allowance was cut to $10. Even Mom's pension was taken away, leaving her penniless. Mom opposed this, of course, but Anastasia would scream and intimidate them until she couldn't speak anymore, initially defiant. Mom eventually stopped resisting. Spencer, being of a gentle nature, didn't confront while they ate meager mac and cheese. Anastasia dined on luxurious takeout steak. At such times, Anastasia would say, "If your loyalty to me was greater, I'd buy some for you too," always dangling the carrot. Hearing all this, I was filled with boiling rage. Her actions are inhumane. Besides, taking away Mom's pension was messed up. At the end of her story, Mom said something unexpected. "But there's a silver lining. I got to see you, Chelsea. That alone leaves me with no regrets." "What are you saying, Mom? The fight starts now. You think my visit was a coincidence?" "No, I came here to save you and Spencer. I won't let her have her way anymore. I'll confront her directly." "But what if Anastasia doesn't agree?" "That doesn't matter. I'll question her thoroughly." At that moment, I was anything but calm. Seeing my family hurts me more than my own pain. That's why I couldn't forgive her. Anastasia, who has broken Spencer and driven Mom to the brink. I was supposed to discuss the situation with Ashley and then decide what to do, but plans changed shortly after. I got a message from Ashley. She left the restaurant about 20 minutes early. The restaurant isn't far from here. I decided to wait. I called Ashley to let her know I was confronting Anastasia right now. "What are you going to talk about now? What about the strategy planning we were going to do together?" "No need for that. I can't forgive her." As we were talking, Anastasia arrived. I hung up the phone and waited for her to enter the house. Then I heard the front door open and footsteps approaching. "Chelsea?" "Hello, Anastasia." "What are you doing here?" "Maybe I'm here because I've heard what you've done to them. Or perhaps it's about the money you're hoarding. Which do you think?" Anastasia's expression was more serious than ever. "Even if you say which, Chelsea, you might be misunderstanding something. I'm not misusing Susan's pension." "Oh, did I mention the pension? I was talking about hoarding money. Why bring up the pension?" "Oh, whatever. You won't believe anything I say anyway." With that, Anastasia pouted like a child. "That's right. I can't believe a word you say." At that, Anastasia crossed her legs and glared at me defiantly. "I've always disliked you. Younger, yet not the least bit adorable. The feeling's mutual, huh? But you know, there's a reason for the way I treat Susan and Spencer. Do you know how much Spencer earns?" "I don't." "Barely $4,000 a month. Can you believe it? At 38. But they could live on that, right? Especially with Mom's pension?" "You don't get it. I can't just let my life end this way. Plus, he lacks ambition. He just works and comes home. Doesn't he want to climb the ladder?" So I decided to punish him. Punish? I didn't understand what she meant by punishment until she continued, and honestly, it made my skin crawl. I dangled a carrot on a stick to make him want more money, to desire advancement. But he still lacks motivation. Now he's so poor in spirit, I can't even introduce him to anyone. So, I'm educating him. If you have a problem, take them back. If you've caught on, there's no point in continuing this. Anastasia's true nature was nauseating. I had never imagined she was so twisted. But now everything was clear. No more holding back. Of course, I won't let you continue to torment Spencer and Mom. I'll be back to take them on Saturday. Have the divorce papers ready by then. Fine. By the way, you're pretty open about all this. You must have been making quite a sum with Spencer's salary and Mom's pension. Giving that up so easily? Did you find someone else? To my question, Anastasia looked momentarily surprised. No, why would you think that? I just got tired of being with them. So I told Mom I'd come to pick her up in 2 days and asked her to pack. By then, Mom was tearfully happy. But this was far from resolved until Anastasia's brought to justice. Neither Spencer nor Mom can truly be at ease. I met with Ashley that day to explain what had happened. Naturally, upon hearing how Spencer and Mom were treated, Ashley was furious. It seems our feelings about not forgiving Anastasia are mutual. The next day, based on some information from Mom, Ashley and I went to a certain place. There, we acquired something powerful. With this, we might be able to corner Anastasia. I vowed to make her regret ever hurting my loved ones. That night, I explained the situation to my husband and asked him to accompany me to pick up Mom and Spencer. Without any objection, he agreed. Ashley's husband agreed to join as well. Leaving the kids at home, the 4 of us set out. Unlike 2 days ago, it wasn't just Ashley, but each of our husbands was with us. There was nothing to fear. Upon arrival, we found Mom and Spencer standing with their bags, thinly clad despite the deep winter. Then Anastasia appeared, likely not expecting all 4 of us. Perhaps sensing something was amiss, her face paled. Leaving Mom and Spencer to our husbands, Ashley and I went inside the house for a talk. Anastasia, clearly more nervous with the men glaring at her, seemed tense. Inside, we saw a French cuisine. Well, I didn't expect all 4 of you to come. Anyway, the thought of French food being bought with Spencer's money made me angry. Already trying to calm my rising anger, we started the conversation. Realizing it was just Ashley and me, Anastasia began to show some composure. She might have been scared if our husbands were present. Firstly, I've filled out divorce papers. Just get Spencer to sign them and submit them later. Anastasia, don't you think you've gone too far? Don't you have any remorse for your actions? Not at all. Oh, Ashley was clearly struggling to maintain her composure. She might have chosen her words carefully, but there's no need to be reserved with such a woman. I decided not to hold back my words anymore. Anastasia, we'll take care of the divorce, but there's something else. We insist you hear. What if it's a lecture? I'm not interested. Oh no, it's nothing like that. Lecturing you would be like water off a duck's back. Oh, you're trying to provoke me, thinking I'll slip up. You should stop that. I'm not the type to be affected by such things. Anastasia still seemed to think she was in a position of advantage, as if she believed that avoiding slip-ups was her only concern. I, however, had no intention of holding back. All right then, I won't hold back. First, could you please return the money you embezzled from Spencer and Mom? I'm not asking for the full amount, just return what's left after deducting the necessary living expenses and rent. You think I have such money? Do you know why I started managing the money? It's because Spencer couldn't handle it, and most of the living expenses are just necessary. I've been scrimping and saving to get by. I don't owe anything back, really. What do you mean? That's the thing. If it was truly just scrimping and saving, it would have been one thing. But that's not the case. We have proof now, so I decided to ask about the purse you were carrying. That purse you have? It's quite expensive, isn't it? How did you come to own it? I didn't see you with it a year ago, so why now? Or rather, how did you buy it? It was a gift, really. From whom? You're not working and you stay mostly at home, right? Although you said you occasionally go shopping. That's why I said I didn't want it, but my friend insisted I take it. Really, such generous friends you have. Are we done here? No, we're not. Like I said, please pay back the money. But our club's necessary expenses? At that moment, all the composure drained from Anastasia's face. She looked completely taken aback. Downtown clubs. The bartenders there are quite handsome, easy to get hooked on, right? I understand why you'd frequent those clubs. What are you talking about? I don't go to clubs. Sorry, Anastasia. I have acquaintances in that area who've seen you going in and out several times. One of them was even at my wedding, so they recognized you right away. It's a small world. Oh, well. Her previous confidence vanished as she started sweating under each of my questions. Just admit it. You kept going to the club, didn't you? They probably promised marriage or something if you continued visiting. How did you know? There are so many bad rumors about those bartenders. They charm women, keep them coming back and spending money. So basically, you were conned. Even in a position to manage money, you wasted it on frivolities. That's a lie. We've hired a lawyer. Even if criminal charges won't stick, we'll sue you and bring you down. So be prepared. After that, Anastasia and Spencer's divorce was finalized. The club affair was proven in court, leading to a substantial settlement. Moreover, Anastasia was ordered to pay damages for mishandling Mom and Spencer's finances. Apparently, embezzlement can lead to compensation even among family members. Anastasia, now saddled with debt and over 40, has no choice but to work incessantly. Reportedly, she's embroiled in disputes with the bartenders. Once surrounded by luxury purses and clothes, she's now a shadow of her former self, looking impoverished and severely thin. Later, it was discovered that she was heavily in debt, barely reducing the principal, and now living a life of deprivation. But as they say, you reap what you sow. Since then, Spencer has gradually regained his health, not entirely as before, but steadying. Mom, ever the resilient one, hasn't changed much. She might be putting on a brave front, but Mom is indeed a strong person. This was a terrifying experience. I've learned that people you meet can either significantly enhance your life or corrupt it. But there's always hope lurking somewhere, a lesson I've learned from this ordeal. There still may be difficult days that lie ahead. Even so, I believe there will always be hope, and that's how